I'll see you in the land of mortar. Death awaits you at the border. Pass on through the gates of fun. Destroy the ring of power and wonder.
Hey, Middle-earth role-playing fans. Roman Daisel is back with another MERP module. I know I've been doing some other things. I went through the 3 films, watched them all over again, the extended versions, and started nitpicking. But don't get me wrong, I love the films. But let's go back to this. Today we're going to be looking at Hazards of the Harad Wood. This is 8112 of the series, and it's set in southern Middle-earth, around Far Harad. So Far Harad would be the campaign book. MERP did 3 or 4 of these little ready-to-run adventures in that area. I would rather they'd done something in Horondor or in Umbar, a little bit more of that. But anyway, this book was released in 1990. I think I bought it from Fandom 2. Never had a chance to play it. But I have read it, and let's get into it. Alright, so back to the table we go. The adventure takes place in this region, the Far Harad. And it's part of the book, the campaign book they had, called Far Harad, The Scorching Sands. So we bring this down, we got front cover, Agnes McBride artwork, gotta love that. You flip over, you got a map on the back, and it's a Suza Sumar, which is over there, and a brief description. Moving in, there's no artwork on the inside cover. As always, they have guidelines, adapting module, player characters, and they have pre-created characters, and that you can use if you want or not. They always give you 18. It's not bad. First thing we get is an area map of the Suza Sumar and the town of Avashar, and Nahir's Arboretum. Now I do like this map. It's got a lake with a track, and it's got a little island in the middle. Be good for a campaign map. Then we go into a brief description of the Suza Sumar and the flora, important herbs that you might want. So nature's going to come into this quite a bit. We got coinage and prices in Avashar. So this village is, if you go there, you can buy stuff there. It gives a description of the weeping fever, which is based on insect bites. So remember, you're in a tropical climate. You got the hot desert coming in, and plus you got a rainforest of all places. So you're going to have insects will kill, kind of like malaria does to you, and the sleeping sickness that the tsetse fly would do. And then it goes through fauna, gives a little bit about that, hazards in the wood, and then we get right into the first adventure, which is the disappearing flock. And the tale is simple, that the Far Harad speaks of the wild men of the Suza Sumar, or the Suzamatu, a secluded society of primitive people. So these are related to the Wozes, the Drugu, and the Befran. Secluded race, calling themselves the Honnim wanderers. They are xenophobic and shun the company of outsiders. And they live in the dense wood where they raise giant caviar tropical rodent. Okay. So recently a small group of Honnim ventured out of the jungle in search of stable food source, and half of their livestock perished in the strange plague, forcing them into the refuge. Fortunately, the starving Honnim encountered some sheep, only 2 days' journey from their tribe's camp. They took enough sheep to start their own flock. Unfortunately, they stole beasts belonging to a shepherd named Barthanan. So you're basically going after missing livestock in this adventure. And the NPCs are obviously the shepherd, the wife of the shepherd, the eldest son, Tiana, the wife of the son and daughter of this guy, and then Arigan, the wild man, the leader of the Suzamatu raiders, who's a fierce warrior and a skilled tactician. So basically the shepherd and the townspeople, they want you to go after who's ever stealing sheep, because your livestock is your livelihood. So you get maps and layouts surrounding area of Barthanan's home, the homestead, the pasture, the ford, upper falls, the jungle, and the hills. And then it goes more in detail, the homestead. So it gives you 2 maps of the disappearing flock. The terrain map, which is the surrounding area, and then the homestead map. So a little bit more detail, which would be good for if you're making smaller campaigns where raiders and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. And it goes into all the things that you find in that second map. Then it goes into the Suzamata camp. And the main thing about this is the Honnim trap. So they're really good at trapping, ambushing. And it gives you the three types of traps you're going to find. You know, simple snare that's designed to grapple its prey by haul you in the air. So a leg trap, net trap, and another snare trap. You go in the layout of the Suzamata camp, and it gives all the descriptions. And you also get out where all the traps are around the campsite. So the task, obviously very simple, find the sheep. Yay. Starting the players at an inn in town where you talk to Barthanen, aids, obviously the townspeople give you some obstacles. And the rewards. Barthanen will offer just clothing and money. Show a gratitude for help. You're not going to find a lot of treasure with this. The encounters are obviously the Suzamatu. And they will be your biggest challenge. Pretty straightforward adventure. I never played this book with any of my friends. I bought this later in university, so never got a chance to get around to it. Next we get the Lights of the Avashar. So this is south of Barthanen's homestead now. And I'm talking about flying lights. Floating lights followed, and some of the townsfolk are worried. Strange phenomena appears, small points of light floating through the air, similar to the flame of a disembodied torch. However, the flares flit from place to place with a mind of their own, creating chaos in the town. So this is Nahur's experiment, an old animist dwelling on the edge of the jungle. So he's looking for a creature that might help him with his agricultural chores. So he's an arboretum. So he decided to summon some creatures to do his bidding and tend his garden. In calling, the Barachi, as he called them, the Baracha, the hermit overlooked the possibility the creature might not be willing to aid him. And once he brought them forth, they decided to explore, and so they took off. So now he's got to try and get them. So this guy is a hermit. He's an old guy, 20. He's lived alone for 28 years, so his marbles aren't all there. So basically, you got to find out the lights, discover what they are, who they are, how to get rid of them, all sorts of fun stuff. You also got Haru, trader from Dar, Ryun. So these are just town people. They're going to meet the Baracha, the living lights. These things are not malicious by nature, only mischievous. Unlike the Elvar, the Kalvar, the Baracha are supernatural origins. This doesn't sound very Tolkienish. What I do like, though, is I like this layout of the town itself, Avashar. You got the south gate, the east bank, the breakwall, the docks, and fishing wares. Okay. So it has a dike, probably a dike and ditch with a fence. And it gives you all the places within. So that's a pretty good map. I like that one. Nahur's Arboretum. Yeah, a nice little map of that. It's got some number 3 is shrubbery. Some nice shrubbery. It's circled by a ring of stones. Rarest. Alright. 6 is a circle of stones used by the Animus to study stars and the rising sun. Ancient Honnim structure. Also center of Nahur's summoning ceremony. So I guess also you gotta try and figure out a way to banish these things. You get Nahur's home. Little map of that. I like the layouts in this book. They're actually really good. There's a trap door. So pretty simple. So starting the players, obviously you're going through the Avashar. You can tie this in with your first adventure. Aids, obviously the people are going to be helpful. Obstacles. And the obstacles aren't really that much. Only the lights themselves. Probably won't be... you gotta find a way to capture them, which might be hard. And then there are some rewards from the townspeople. And the encounters, the Baricha, are obviously going to be the most important ones. They're playful until cornered. They become vicious if annoyed or angered. They're nocturnal creatures, favoring rest during the day to best absorb light from the sun. So basically, you got to cover them up in darkness. Put them in a dark bag. What fun. Okay, next up, Terror in the Jungle. And it talks about the Yaishar, who is a woodland spirit who became corrupted by Sauron and has been wreaking havoc about the woodlands around him. But however, he has been brief reign of terror is still spoken of by the Honnim legends, and he's been long forgotten in tales. So he must have fallen during when Sauron did. So the stirring in the lost ruins. Talks about a guy, Jarner, a professional hunter, living in the jungle. Came across the ruins of an ancient keep, and when he was exploring, he found that a cold sensation on the back of his neck was he being observed. Believing this to be an ill omen, he left the ancient keep and headed for home. Unfortunately, he has unwittingly awakened the I.C.E, the fallen Tavar spirit. The terror of Suza Sumar has returned, and it's not going to go well. So you got the NPCs, you got Jarner the huntsman, his wife, you got Yarshar, is a spirit of dreams. So he has the ability to invade the soul while it sleeps peacefully at night to create hallucinations by day. That's not good. So the idea now is to kill a demon. The keep is an ancient Honnim ruin that has long been forgotten. Alright, and then you got the terrain surrounding the keep, Honnim path, side path, the ruins. So this is on a little bit of a hill, or the side of a hill. And it gives you all the ruins itself when you go in. Not much to it. It's when you go beneath the ruins that things get more interesting. Number 10 is the pool. 11 is Yashar's prison, a large stone slab in the middle of the cavern. Beyond the water is the prison for the creature of dreams. Upon it, the earthbound body lies in heavy but troubled slumber. No weapon can harm Yashar's body while it's in a state. Directly disturbing will partially break the imprisoning spell, would allow him to pass the pool. However, his long slumber has left him weak and invulnerable to such an attack. So you gotta wake him up to harm him. That's no fun. So the task, obviously this is the most dangerous of them. You're gonna have to find out what's troubling everyone in their dreams, track it to the ancient keep, talk to the hunter while you're at it, explore the keep, find your way down to the beneath Ezran Keep, find your way below Erazan Keep. Starting the players, same idea, aids, obstacles, rewards, encounters. So Yeshar's nature is the one. Finally, we go to the last one. The eyes of the dragon, the seeing stones of Ankatari. So it's talking about something made like a palantiri, but not quite. And it talks about so many hiding stones. There's a whole story with these things. So it's NPCs. So you got to find these eyes of the dragon from the sounds of it. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. You got Jaru, the desert screamer. So one of the desert garks. They're elves that are like hired assassins. They're excellent rangers and are used as assassins by the Storm King of Corahil, who's one of the Nazgul, and some other evil people associated with Jaru. So you got the Shrine of Karantor and Kantair. It's in a series of desert hills, the Hill of Storms. The shrine faces in a northeasterly thing. So it's probably buried. It gives you the eyes of the dragon. So it's got a first chamber, a dedicational, sand-filled chamber, unused burial chamber, and chamber of the stones. And they work just like a palantiri. So the idea is to beat Jaru to the punch. Get there before he gets you. He gets there and gets you. So the task, finding a lost shrine and a boy's heritage. And you have to fight for your life against the desert screamers. Starting the players, obviously, anywhere you want. Aids, your own ability. Obstacles, the shrine itself, like finding it, plus the desert screamers. Rewards, well, obviously seeing stones are pretty cool. Encounters with the Storm King's minions. And the Les Navavi. Beneath the mounds of sand within the old shrine, 5 corpses of grey robbers lie in wait. So you got ghouls waiting in the... So you disturb anything, ghouls will come out. Living corpses, well, that could put a dent in your day. Next up, we got the table. So the NPCs for the Wildman of Suza Sumar, the Lights of Avishar, the Eyes of the Dragon, and the Terror in the Jungle. And then finally an encounter table and a beast table. And that is Hazards of the Harad Wood in a nutshell. Alright, so that was Hazards of the Harad Wood. What did I think of this book? It's not my favorite. The adventures are pretty low level. And pretty easy. And some of them are pretty kind of dumb, especially the lights. wasn't a big fan of this book. Now I know why I never really bothered to try and play it. Disappointed. I always expect a lot when I get these books, and this was on the low end of that. But overall, it does flesh out more of the surrounding countryside of Far Harad. And I always like the desert garks. I thought that's a cool idea. But just in general, it's on the low end of the adventure modules. But any Middle Earth role-playing fans, let me know if you guys have this module. Were you able to play it? What'd you think? Leave comments in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And we're going to continue doing Lord of the Rings stuff. I have other ideas. I'm working on some other stuff. Got one for Christmas. It's probably after Christmas, but got lots of stuff going on. So anyway, until next time, I'm Roman Daisel. I am out of here.
Shadow